Good afternoon, everyone. I am back. I apologize for being gone there for, I think it was a couple weeks. Ended up with head cold, exhausted, did not feel well, and just doing videos was not in the cards during that time, but I am doing much better. Energy is back, able to function during the day, so I'm very, very grateful for that. Been just taking all sorts of probiotics and zinc and all the things to feel better, and I'm finally up and able to function. So I'm glad to be back. What I wanted to talk about today was something that I feel is on a lot of our minds when it comes to weight loss. We focus on restricting what we eat, telling ourselves that we can't have this is a bad food, okay? I've definitely been there. I've have a very long history of eating disorders and just being anxious every time I eat or I'm around food, and kind of a sense of loss of control, which is a big thing, control with our food, feeling like I had to remain in control, and if I wasn't, it was just chaos and I was failing. Counting calories, counting macros, counting all the things, which just made me want all the food that I couldn't have even more. Okay, so I have been there. I have dealt with the guilt, the shame of having the food, and just, it's hard. It's really hard. And I completely understand that. And so I want to talk to you today about how dieting can actually make us gain weight. Okay, there's a few things we've talked about in the past about how when we diet and we get this restriction mentality, it can cause us to binge later. And that is definitely a thing that many people compete with or deal with. But another thing that many of us aren't even aware of is something called cognitive dieting restraint. Okay, cognitive dieting restraint, or CDR, is where we're just constantly thinking about food, constantly thinking about calories, constantly thinking about good versus bad food and restricting and how we can't have that and how we shouldn't have that, okay? And it becomes this never-ending loop in our mind, all right? Now, the brain is an amazing thing. It is absolutely amazing, the amount of power it has. And we can use the power that the brain has for good, but we can also use it for bad, okay? One way that we can do it with good is if we say something as if it's real, okay, our brain will believe it. And if we focus on these positive aspects of life, the things we want or the things we want to be, and we say, okay, I am this, all right, I am successful. The brain is powerful and it will get you there, okay? However, when we focus on negative things, okay, especially when we're talking about food in this instance, we focus on negative things. Our brain is so powerful that even if we don't do it, it will react and cause the body to react as if we did that, okay? And where this comes in with food is if we focus on not eating, if we focus on restricting our food, okay? Even if we don't do it, okay? Even if we eat the food and we don't starve ourselves, if we focus on that and think about starving ourselves or restricting ourselves, the brain will respond as if you actually did that, okay? So I can go all day and eat how I'm supposed to, okay? Eat in the healthiest manner possible. But if I sit here and I focus on, oh, I need to eat less. Oh, I shouldn't eat that. It's terrible. Or oh, I'm going to gain weight. You know what? Your body is going to do it because you told your brain that it did it, okay? And so the body will respond as if it's being restricted. That stress that it puts on your body, including your reproductive hormones and all the other systems in your body, will react as if it's been restricted, okay? And what that does is it overstresses the body and causes your reproductive hormones and everything else to go into an imbalance as if you actually were restricting, okay? This can cause your hormones to be imbalanced. It can cause your BMR to decrease, and it can cause your metabolic function to decline, and it can cause your recovery to decline as well. And then you will gain weight due to the hormone imbalance and then the stress that you're putting on your body, okay? So what do we do instead? Okay, instead of focusing on restriction, instead of focusing on what we should and should not do, what we do is we coach and explain and help develop small habits, okay? Rather than taking away, we're going to add good things, okay? Good, nutritious foods, all right? So say you have pizza or you continue to have the McDonald's hamburger. Rather than saying, I can't have this, we add to it, all right? We might add a side salad. We might add an apple, okay? When we add in those nutritional elements, then slowly those less than nutritious options start to decrease because we're increasing all the nutritional elements in there, okay? So that is one way to combat CDR, all right, and the stress and the hormone imbalance by adding in nutritious foods. So if you're struggling with something like CDR or just focusing on restriction, try adding nutrition rather than telling yourself you have to take away things. So have the cookie, but also have the strawberries. Okay, so add in that nutrition to help you combat the anxiety and the stress and the hormone imbalances going on by focusing on the restriction and the calories and all the other things, okay? Another thing that we do differently is we don't count calories, okay? For many people, it causes the CDR and the stress and the hormone imbalance. So instead of counting calories, we use a hand portion system and kind of give people a number of hands for their portions, and then that helps them not focus so much on the calories, okay? Another thing that you can do is start focusing on having more whole, unprocessed foods, okay? Have the things you love, but make them in a way that they're from whole foods rather than processed foods. That alone is going to help decrease inflammation and stress on your body and help you to lose weight, okay? So when we're looking at dieting, all right, going into a restriction mindset can actually have the reverse effect. It can stress us out, cause hormone imbalances, and make our bodies think that we are restricting and starving it. And so because it thinks that way, it reacts that way, okay? So instead, find someone that can help coach you through and adding in things and developing new habits in a slow way that helps you to not stress out, okay? One of the big things we like to preach is consistency over perfection, okay? No, we're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect with my nutrition, okay? We're not going to be perfect at all times, and sometimes we just can't. But we can slowly make improvements and develop new habits that'll help us be consistent, and then in the long run reach the goals that we want to reach, okay? If this is something that you would like help with, if you would like help just developing some small new habits that'll help you reach your goals, please message myself, message my husband Sam, and we would be happy to help you out. Tomorrow in the group that is linked in my profile, we're going to be going over another diet, okay? That's what we're doing this month. We're going over different diets and the elements of those, and tomorrow we're going to do the carnivore diet. So if that's something you want to learn about and are interested in, go ahead and click on the link that is in my Facebook profile and join that group. It's free. There's nothing attached to it. Join that group, and then you can catch that live class tomorrow. There are a couple more in the unit section. There is one over keto, and there's one over intermittent fasting in the unit section. So if you're interested in those, you can check those out there. But otherwise, let us know if you need any help with anything or just have any general questions. You can message me, and I would be happy to help you out. All right, guys, you have a wonderful day, and we will catch you tomorrow.